This month on Aggie Profiles, we bring you the story of New Mexico State running back Larry Rose III. Once a lightly recruited high school senior in Fairfield, Texas, Rose is now an AP All-American and the preseason Player of the Year in the Sun Belt Conference. And we finish off this month with NM State volleyball star Jordan Avalos. A three-sport All-American in high school, Avalos has turned into one of the faces of the Aggie volleyball program. This is Aggie Profiles.
Larry Rose got some room. He's moving the football. Rose trying to make a move and get loose. Larry is loose. Larry Rose at the 50. Larry Rose trying to run away from everybody. Larry's at the 20. Larry Rose. The give is to Rose. Jumps over the top. Touchdown Aggies.
We say give it to your best back. He is the best back the Aggies have.
Larry Rose, third team AP All-American.
Class, dedication, commitment, excellence, great person.
Success, good kid, that great smile.
He's first class on the field, he's first class off the field. I just think he's a special person.
During his senior season of high school, Rose ran for 3,000 yards and 49 touchdowns, but somehow went unnoticed in nearly every FBS program.
It's a very small school, very small town.
Fairfield's, an hour and 15 minutes east of Waco, and kind of off the beaten path. 3,000 people in that small town.
Texas is so big, so many guys come out of Texas that it's easy to get overlooked.
The name Larry Rose III was known in Texas, but many believed his size would prevent him from having success at the next level.
My numbers were just so outrageous that everybody in the state of Texas knew who I was.
We were just really amazed that there wasn't a whole lot of other recruiting traffic on him. He had, scored 49 touchdowns as a senior.
He had such an awesome senior year. It kind of culminated everything that I had been telling him when he was growing up, and that was that he was gifted. And when you know that your children have talent, but they come from a small town, they attend a small school that sometimes get lost in the haystack, you think, or you're hoping or you're praying that somebody will give them the opportunity or somebody will give them the shot.
Then Coach Martin came out of nowhere and he was like, I'm gonna give you an opportunity, and that was all I was asking for.
They gave him a chance when nobody else, wanted to give him that chance. New Mexico State saw him and they were willing to take a chance on him, and for that I am grateful.
He had a few offers as a defensive back, obviously wanted to play running back. We were the only school that was willing to give him a chance to play running back. I knew he would be a very effective player here. He had some things that you can't coach. He had the ability to make people miss, tremendous speed. Like I say, he was only 160 pounds at that time, which is probably why a lot of people overlooked him, but he still ran with a lot of power.
He told me when he was recruiting me, he never cared about my size. He just saw pure talent, and that's all he focused on. He didn't care nothing about my size, and for that, I greatly appreciate him.
We went and did a home visit with Larry's mom and dad, and you could see the way he treated his mom, the way he'd been raised. When you talk to Larry in person, that was the sell. When you got to talk to him in person, I was sold after that. I knew this guy would work hard. I knew he wanted to be something special.
It didn't take long for Rose to love the coaching staff in Las Cruces, the place that soon became his home.
Once we got down there and we saw the campus and we saw the mountains, Coach Martin and his staff, they were so nice to us. They laid out the red carpet, but it felt like home away from home. And before he even told his dad and I that he was going to commit, I think I told his dad, now this is where he's going to go. And it was on the drive home that he said, I'm going to call him tomorrow and tell him that I commit. And so we were like, call him tomorrow and tell him, you better call him now and tell him that you want to commit.
I know this is, deep down inside, this is the place where I'm supposed to be and where I need to be. I feel like I'm where I need to be.
The story is only beginning. More to come with Larry Rose III when we return. New Mexico State gave lightly recruited high school running back Larry Rose III a chance when nobody else would. The coaching staff knew the talent was there, but he had yet to step on a football field in college. When he did, the rest was history.
We got Larry out there one time and he executed one cut. And the coaches kind of had that look like, did you see that?
I think he had even missed a couple games and still got to 1,000 yards. So I was like, wow, that's something special.
You know, his freshman year against Arkansas State, it was the last game of the year. You know, he popped a run of about 80 yards. And we scored back-to-back touchdowns in 2014 against a really good team in the conference in the first half, and he outran their whole team.
I just wanted to hurry up and get in and contribute so I could help change the program around. When I was able to do it against, Texas State, Monroe, and Arkansas State and rush for 100-yard games, and that's when I knew okay, I can really compete at this level. I can be successful. Then after the season was over with, I was like, okay, going into my sophomore year, I feel like I can really make an impact to the game.
While Rose had the speed and skill, he still lacked the size to deal with the wear and tear of FBS football. And that's when head strength coach Don Decker came into play.
He's a lot of fun to coach. Last year he played at 172, and then our goal this year was to be at 185, and he actually exceeded that, and he's consistently now 190.
Coach Deck was like, you gotta get bigger, you gotta get bigger. And I'm like, I'm trying, Coach, I'm trying. But after the season, I bought in, and I gained that extra weight that I needed to, and it paid off for me my sophomore year.
Larry has the work ethic. He knew that he needed to get bigger. He had a goal of getting bigger, and he's attacked the weight room.
I'm now to the point in my career where I understand when it's go time.
The expectations were high for Rose heading into his sophomore year. After rushing for 1,100-plus yards and 9 touchdowns during his freshman year, Rose knew there was another level he could get to, and he was now the main target for every opposing defense.
Everybody knew, the number one thing you have to stop is Larry Rose, and he still was not stopped.
He made things easy on me right away. He just said, when in doubt, just hand me the ball and I'll make things happen.
He don't want it to be like he's getting all the fame or all the glory and it's just him. He makes sure that everyone knows it's an O-line that's blocking for him, that's helping him pave the way.
One of Rose's best career games came on Halloween of his sophomore year. Rose helped the Aggies mount a furious comeback over Idaho. He ran for a career-high 4 touchdowns, including one late on a 4th and goal when he didn't even know what down it was.
4th and goal when I jumped over the pile. I didn't even know it was 4th down. My mindset was just, let's play ball, make plays, let's tie the game up, let's take the lead, let's close it off. That's my best game, but I don't remember it play by play.
This is the guy. What else can I say? That's the man. That's Larry Rose.
Larry Rose really wanted to be at New Mexico State. He's very appreciative of New Mexico State. And so he works hard for us, and we've returned the favor for him too.
With success comes accolades. Just how much national attention would Rose collect in his sophomore year? Find out next on Aggie Profiles. New Mexico State Aggie Profiles is brought to you by Pepsi, White Sands Federal Credit Union, Route 66, and by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo and you, together we'll go far.
Larry gave him a pulse, and together him and that team have made a heartbeat at New Mexico State.
Last year, there was only 8 All-Americans that were not from a power conference school. 8 in the whole nation. I mean, that's a remarkable accomplishment for Larry. There hadn't been one AP All-American here at New Mexico State since the 1970s.
Larry has a lot of those things that you see the great ones have.
Larry's the best running back I've ever blocked for it. High school, junior college. Right now, he's just the best back, hands down.
He's ambitious and just his work ethic, and he's humble.
He performed. He lead by example, so that's what I get from him.
Whenever your best player is a good person, good things usually happen. And to me, that's what is so unique about Larry Rose III.
Larry Rose III is confident but also humble. A fan favorite and a favorite among his teammates, Rose was named one of the team captains for the 2016 season.
Nobody walks around saying, wow, there's our first All-American since 1975. I mean, he doesn't bring that to the table, if you will. He doesn't walk around with that air about him like I'm something special. Coach, treat me different than everybody else. He grinds like everybody else grinds. You know, people are always kind of looking at him saying, can I be as good as him? Do I have what it takes? But for him to have to show up every day with that, carrying that mantle that, you know, he can't have a bad day. He can't take a lazy step because he knows everybody's watching him.
Unbelievably selfless as well, you know, to not really be concerned about yardage and touchdowns, but more team victories and getting us to advance to a bowl game.
You know, what he has just contributed to them, he hasn't done on his own, because, you know, you can't break records and you can't get yards if the line don't block for you, so he definitely is not a one-man show.
He also wants to prove people right about his team and his teammates. He's always talking about those, you know, about his friends and about getting them exposure.
He's so focused on the team instead of himself. I think that's really where his motivation comes from.
If I'm the guy that gets the call to, you know, be the savior, then I'm up and I'm ready for it. You know, I'm ready to go to bat. I'm ready to help do what I got to do to pull the team through. I like the underdog status, you know. I like when people say you can't and you can. It's just being able to put your name in the same conversation as other people that you consider great, you know, because just because I play college ball, I still look up to, you know, Leonard Fournette, the McCaffreys and stuff like that. So when it goes from, man, those guys are good, to people saying, man, you're just like those guys, it's just, the change in conversation is just mind-blowing. Every time I step on the field, I just want people to know that I'm a game changer.
A game changer who's now an All-American, all because a coaching staff and a program gave him a chance when no one else would.
You love it when a kid is appreciative of the chance they've been given and to give back. And I think Larry will be one of those guys who'll give back to New Mexico State the rest of his life.
And he kind of epitomizes our whole program as well, not just recruiting, but who we want to be right now. Coach Martin takes that approach as well. Healthy chip on your shoulder. Larry is that. He's a sustained, great player that no one else wanted to believe in.
More to come on the story of Larry Rose III, AP All-American, after this.
Larry Rose III, New Mexico State gets their first win of the season, 212 yards rushing, 4 TDs, all in the fourth quarter and overtime. Helmet sticker.
Larry Rose, third team AP All-American, is huge for the program. To be the first AP All-American since Carl Dean in 1974 and 75, that just shows you the kind of special player he is.
For him being one of the top running backs in the nation, he got a lot of eyes on him now.
I think that there's probably a lot of Power 5 schools that wishes that Larry Rose III was lining up for them to hand the ball off to, for sure.
All of the individual success has been great for Rose, but on the agenda for him is to get the program back to a bowl game for the first time in a while.
There's been a lot of things that have happened to help us get to this point where we have the capability of getting to a bowl and doing those things, but Larry Rose would be right at the top of that.
Now a junior, Rose is hoping to carry New Mexico State to that bowl game. Rose realizes the more attention the program gets, the more looks he will get from scouts at the next level.
I think one thing is, he's got to try to stay healthy the last 2 years. That's the big thing. If you don't have any major injuries through your next 2 years, you're going to have a better chance. But if he'll continue to develop, particularly in the passing game as a running back, being able to stay on the field on third down, be able to split him out of an empty set and have him turn into a wide receiver, those are things that the NFL is going to look at for Larry. And those are things that he does here for us. And he continues to get better at that. I think he'll have every opportunity.
I have, in my opinion, no doubt that he's going to play on Sundays and he's going to have a very successful career based on what I've seen in my past.
Just what he can do and what he can do, just from getting better, I definitely see it in his future.
NFL, L3, Jets. He's the man. I'm sorry, just to be honest, when Larry Rose come to my mind, he's that back that I've never seen.
For now, Rose is trying to keep his eyes on the prize collegiately, which is never easy when your friends around you know you have NFL talent.
You know, with everything coming in, all the accolades and stuff, it's not really me who thinks too much about it. It's my close circle, my boys back home. They always like, bro, you know, you can do it. You're up there with the best of them, you know, so all you got to do is go out and produce. Maybe that needs to become a goal for me, you know, what better else than that'll really solidify being an underdog, you know. I'll go from being an underdog to a Heisman Trophy winner. That would be epic, you know. That would be like, you know, that would be breathtaking. So I don't think about it too much, but it has crossed my mind. And like I always tell myself, if you're in a position to do something great, why not do something great, you know? So with that being said, you know, I'm trying to be great.
From underdog to the Sun Belt Player of the Year in an AP All-American, that's the story of Larry Rose III. Next on Aggie Profiles, we head to the hardwood for the story of NM State volleyball star Jordan Avalos. Stay tuned for more on Aggie Profiles. New Mexico State Aggie Profiles is presented by Route 66, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo and you, together will go far. Pepsi, and by White Sands Federal Credit Union.
Solo block, big dig by Jordan Avalos. Backside Avalos tips it, and it falls in. Avalos approaches, and Avalos notches the kill. Here's Avalos to Lavoti. Pin to pin, Jordan Avalos gets the kill.
New Mexico State volleyball returned to the NCAA tournament in 2015, making it 6 trips in the previous 11 years. Then sophomore Jordan Avalos played a big role and continues to be a mainstay in the storied Aggie program.
It's awesome. It's like an experience like any other, because growing up, I didn't really have that. I was from a small town. And so you get here and you have like thousands of fans rooting for you. It's awesome. And the support that they give us, and, you know, having that New Mexico State across your chest is just an honor, and where all the success and stuff like that is there too.
Jordan's someone that came from a smaller school background. Her club background wasn't one where they're playing a lot of great teams, and so to really look at Jordan, really what you're seeing is the athletic ability, the jumping ability, the speed, the definition in the body. I mean, she's just pure athlete. She could be successful at any sport. In fact, played a lot of different sports and was very good at all of them. So she's the type of athlete we like. She's the type of athlete we can mold into a great player.
I chose New Mexico State because it was close to home, and whenever I came here, I got the real like family-oriented vibe from it. Like, I'm a really big family person. I come from a really big and close family, and so for them being able to travel to watch me play and like getting to be with them a lot, that was my main thing. It's really important to have my family at games because growing up, my dad always told me, you know, find the familiar things. You know, the court's going to be the same size, but also to calm your nerves, find the familiar faces. And that's the one thing that I do before I play, is I find where my parents are, and just so I kind of know. And it's awesome to have their support too.
Her family's great, and they do support her. They support us a great deal. I enjoy watching them interact. But I think she gets a lot of pep talks. I think she's got a lot of people who support her and root her on, and I think it helps motivate her every day. Robert, her dad's a very good coach and good basketball coach, and I think challenged her quite a bit. She's got a toughness about her that a lot of young players don't have. The things I say, or even, you know, in my toughest moment, I think she just kind of smiles at me and she gets it. She's been dealing with it for a long time.
Being the daughter of a coach is stressful, but yeah, I'm so grateful. My dad always told me, you will thank me one day for this, because you'll have things paid for and you'll be able to, you know, live and do things that other people don't get to do. And I do. He was really hard on me, but I think it prepared me for the collegiate like mental stresses and physical stresses that came along with it.
Jordan's a unique kid to coach. She's inflappable. You know, I mean, you can really hammer at her because she's been coached by her dad her whole life. And so she, in a lot of ways, I think is used to being coached that way. And so she's really good at responding to those kinds of motivation. And she's just a really coachable kid.
Her left side, ability obviously is a big deal. She's played libero because her ball control is so good. I think she's an elite level serve receiver. But she can now attack the ball on the right. She's an improving blocker. She's a good back row attacker. She hits with power pretty much from anywhere.
Jordan Avalos is a lot of the glue that we do receiving wise. For Jordan, she's the reason she is as good as she is as a volleyball player is because her ability to pass, serve, receive. And you ask any coach in the country what at the top of the list are things that you would want in a volleyball player, it's can you three pass. And in the spring, there were times when we were charting three-pass reception and the ability to pass it perfectly. And there were days where she was 10 out of 10. Like 10 balls she passed, all 10 went to the target of the three-pass, or 18 out of 20. So when I think about Jordan, not only of her as a good teammate and a good person, tries to do the right thing a lot, I think of her ability just to make the volleyball go where it needs to a lot, and that's going to really help us.
We hope you enjoyed the stories of NM State student athletes Larry Rose III and Jordan Avalos. For our entire crew, I'm Adam Young saying so long and thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next month on Aggie Profiles.